today. So
We
that's
got
lots of fun. Probably one of the
ZKings.
biggest maps in Heroes of the Storm.
Yeah, and like you mentioned before during game one, a two boss map, and I wonder if we're ever going to see another one. I think there are certain implications to doing that, and
Mm-hmm.
like in sometimes in Curse Hollow you see back-to-back bosses or you see boss trade. So I wonder if we'll ever see that again, or if this is going to be a unique thing.
I don't know. That's a really good question. Like you said, it can definitely snowball things. I think at least there's a higher potential for snowballing things if you have a two boss map like that.
And then sometimes it just kind of like is a net null where like both teams take their boss at the same time, and like
Mm-hmm.
maybe the lanes are in about the same situation, and so
Yeah.
nobody really gets an advantage.
So ZKings right off the bat bans Zagara. This is probably this is a good call for them. They don't want Unstable to get Zagara. Zagara can provide so much vision. She's probably one of the best, if not the best, solo laner in the game right now.
Yeah, and I would be surprised if we don't see a Li Ming ban from Unstable, because if they don't ban it, they're saying we don't care if you play it.
Yeah,
And
sometimes I forget that Li Ming is actually playable,
yep,
just because you just expect her to be banned, right?
yeah, for sure. And I would, like I said, I'd be surprised if they don't ban it. They're going into their time pool a little bit here, now hovering over Li Ming, and that
Ah,
is what they go with.
there it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not surprising. They're like, okay, you ban Zagara, we're gonna get rid of Li Ming, but this could be something on Z King's point. Maybe Z King's is like, we want Rhaegar, and hey, look at that.
They're gonna get it. So there they
Yeah,
go.
and that's a tricky way to do it. If you know your first pick, you ban something else you don't want the other team to get. But right now, Li Ming and Rhaegar, even with the Rhaegar nerfs in the little balance patch last week, he's still just a beast.
Yeah, I mean, I think that if you talk to support players in the competitive scene, they tell you he's easily top tier. First pick Morales. Okay, something new every
Yes,
day. There it is. Uh,
yes, I
Morales
love it.
Muradin.
I love it.
Wow. Okay.
This is good because a lot of people, I mean, even after his Avatar mini stun nerf, Murden is still one of the best tanks in the game. Absolutely no question. And he's got amazing zoning, great body blocking, a huge HP pool, and I feel like this is going to be okay. You take Rhaegar, we'll take Morales, we'll defend her, and we're going to get someone who's going to stim drone and beat your brains out.
And now we have Thrall picked by Z King, so we've got the Loktar Ogar Victory or Death for the Horde on the left-hand side with both orcs. We could get a Grey Mane, and then we could have two wolves and two orcs between three characters.
Oh my!
I know that's a
What,
little bit crazy.
what is this?
I
That is
don't know.
just too crazy.
It's too
It's
crazy.
just too crazy. But no, Thrall's a great pickup. If you can't have Zagara, Thrall's probably one of the other best like solo laners in the game. And even he got a tiny damage nerf from his auto attacks last patch. Didn't do a whole lot, so it's a great pickup by them. And then they grabbed Jaina too. If you can't have Li Ming, you might as well have Jaina, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's already like great sustain, great damage from Z Kings. I haven't yet picked a tank, but Unstable hasn't yet limited their ability to pick one really. So their composition is looking very strong, which is kind of a side effect of picking Morales first, in
Yeah.
my opinion.
Yes.
We'll see if Unstable maybe moves to limit their tank options, or they're just gonna ban Tyrande.
Interesting.
Wow.
So Tyrande goes away, so it takes away that hybrid support. It takes away that hunter's mark, which actually on this map, a lot of people aren't thinking about it because she's not near as high a priority as she used to be.
Yeah.
Because after her, I mean, she's still great. Honestly, she's still very good. But that hunter's mark can wreck bosses.
I don't know if that was even a threat though, like the Tyrande. I worry a little bit about that ban, but I guess we'll see. The Raynor ban from Z Kings is smart because you always have that potential when you have Morales to have a stim drone.
Yep. And
So
Raynor with giant killer and stim drone, that's just scary.
yeah, for sure. And now we have Unstable picking Abathur, which I really love
Ooh.
on this map. He's actually quite good on this map. And it's Sonya, so that's a very strong stim drone target already.
Yes, very
We'll need
much
to
so.
see what they pick up for range damage, because they don't have any right now.
And well, the nice thing about the Abathur pick too is all your characters are now instantly protected that much more. With that Abathur shield and that Abathur extra damage, Sonya can just wreck people with Abathur.
Yeah,
Even more so. And you throw Stim Drone on top of that, why it's a one-woman wrecking crew.
I guess we'll see if the Abathur goes more of like a symbiote build or goes for more for mines.
Yeah.
The
And
mine build
mines-
is great on this map.
Oh, yeah. It's fantastic, especially slowing. The slowing mines
Oh yeah,
can just be so annoying on this map.
it's one of the most annoying things to play against, in my opinion, is when that Abathur is on point, the mines are where they expect you to move to rotate, and you get dismounted and you're slowed and you're taking damage over time. Ugh.
Oh yeah, it is just super super annoying. And that actually is really good for this map because it can actually slow down the enemy team from getting to that tribute in time as well.
Yeah, for sure.
So Johanna pickup on ZKings. You know, if you can't have Muradin, you might as well have Johanna.
I think this is she's probably the best all-around warrior that was left. If you're not going for more of like a Diablo style, she's. I mean, ETC was still an option too, but there's plenty of ways to interrupt it on, like to interrupt Mosh Pit on Unstable's team. So
yeah, and Unstable still has one more pick left as well that they could use as an extra counter to an ETC. It's really hard to pick ETC until almost the very last.
Okay, and I'm not sure if their time pool ran out, but Sylvanas picked at the very last second by ZKings. A little bit of push power that they might not have had otherwise. I like the pick. Also, Wailing Arrow is actually really annoying as a Morales, so I'm excited to see if we can get some really clutch Wailing Arrow plays from Sylvanas.
I mean, one of the other reasons I really like Sylvanas too is she can really take that split push going. You can throw her, if you let's say you grab a boss or a mercenary camp, you throw her with them, they last that much longer when she's pushing with them, and then the rest of your team can be somewhere else pushing and just cause a lot of chaos to the enemy team to try to figure out what they counter first.
And I'm not surprised to see that Vala pick from Unstable at the end there. It was very likely that they were going to go with a ranged assassin who could also benefit from Stim Drone in case the Sonya is out of range or is dead, or it might not just have cooldowns up. So I think it's a good pick. I worry a little bit about Unstable's draft because they did prioritize some stuff that probably would not have been contested ordinarily fairly early on.
Yeah, it is a little interesting, especially first picking Morales. That kind of tips your hand almost a bit early as to what kind of thing you're going. And Johanna can do a really good job at shutting down a Stim Drone target too. With Blessed Shield, with Condemn, with Blind as well, just being a huge thing. So it'll be interesting to see if that strategy ends up working out for them, especially with the Abathur, because the Abathur can actually talent into attack speed for Symbiote too.
I have to say, on paper, I like ZKings' composition a lot more. I think that it's certainly more like standard meta composition, if you want to call it that. I mean, Sylvanas has kind of fallen out of favor recently, but I think she's still quite strong. She's just sort of neglected.
Yeah.
And I think that it's really the onus now is on Unstable to prove that early Morales Muradin pick is worth it.
Yeah.
So
but
they're gonna have to show that.
I do like the Abathur pick on this map just because this map is so big. They're gonna have that extra soak, especially if they can draw out those tribute fights, and that could really give them an edge experience-wise.
I do also think that the Morales is pretty well protected with the pretty beefy front line of Muradin and Sonya. And also, if Vala ends up going multi-shot build, the slow is very annoying if you're trying to get to the back line and pounce on Morales.
Oh, sure.
So there is a lot of protection for her. I worry about her ability to make a difference long term against such a strong damage lineup from ZKings.
The thing we need to be watching for is the Sundering from Thrall to split this team up and isolate either the Morales or the Vala so that the Jaina, the Thrall, and the Sylvanas can just blow her up. And this is going to be crazy too because you have the Rhaegar Lightning Shield with Thrall, who's going to be in the thick of things. So if he does end up going that Lightning Shield build, Thrall could be doing a ton of AoE damage as well.
What do you think about the app? Oh, actually, let's introduce the team. Sorry about that.
So let's introduce ZKings first. On the left side here, we have Downed on Johanna, the Black Bear on Thrall, Sarm Kale on Jaina, Pikachu on Rhaegar, Pikachu, and Colonel Omen on Sylvanas.
And on unstable side, we have Hero of Lilat, presumably Star Fox, on Sonya, Laser Muffin on Vala, Mystic Shroud playing Lieutenant Morales, Church on Muradin, and Tactical Tuna.
Tactical Tuna.
Playing Abathur. And looks like we have quite a bit of crowding in the middle lane to start. The minion waves at the top and bottom take quite a while to get down there, so there's always a possibility to sort of dogpile mid a little bit before the minions arrive in the other two lanes.
Okay, so I'm just going to call this, just point this out real fast. So Pandemonium grabbed their eyes second, and they won that first game.
Okay.
So,
are you're
using my powers of deduction?
So you think that might have an impact?
That might help Unstable out. I don't know.
All right.
It could. So, looking at even our level 1 talents, we do see Thrall going ahead and grabbing that electric charge, increasing the radius of that lightning shield. That is such a big deal, as that can. I mean, look how big that shield is. The thing's just gonna be hitting everything.
Yeah, and it's not uncommon to see the lightning shield talents come out because of how much guaranteed damage it is, and on this map, around the tribute especially, it can get a lot of mileage.
Oh yeah, for sure. Especially when you throw it on either Johanna or Thrall.
Oh yeah, I mean that Thrall is gonna be all over Morales in the back line, hopefully, for ZKing.
So we got the interesting 1-3-1 lineup going on right now. Looks like ZKings probably going to have the stronger push in the middle right now, just because that Abathur doesn't have quite the presence until a little bit later in the game. Sonya is actually doing a really good job pushing this Thrall back up top.
Yeah, that's a matchup that you sort of expect Thrall to win a little bit. It wasn't always the case in the past, but certainly now with the nerfs to Sonya, that's pretty much what you'd expect. And he's doing a good job so far, so kudos there. That's not an easy solo lane.
But on the flip side, Colonel Omen on that Sylvanas is doing a really good job pushing that Muradin back. Abathur did actually have to come down to the bottom because Muradin had to hearth. He'd taken too much damage.
I'm not surprised to see that. I think that probably Unstable knew from the outset that that was going to be the case, that Muradin was going to lose that lane. So good to have that Abathur to rotate down. But mid lane now has nobody in it.
Yeah.
So there's the possibility to lose some XP there, and the tribute is spawning in the bottom, so we should see teams rotate at this time.
And again, ZKings went ahead and grabbed those Siege Giants right before the tribute spawn. So those Siege Giants are going to be pushing that top lane.
And and as you can see, Unstable got it bottom, but...
Oh no! The Abathur ended up interrupting that because the piercing, or the hammer missed. Why the Stormbolt? Why can't I think of things? Stormbolt missed, and wow, that was enough of a. It scared him enough to push him back, I guess, and Unstable takes the first tribute.
I think ZKings realize that they are a little bit ahead on XP. They have that camp pushing top, which is getting some mileage now. And then,
and Jaina did just fall as well.
I think that was in the mid?
In the mid lane.
So it's like a good rotation coming through there by Unstable to guarantee that kill. But I think if you look at ZKings, they knew they were a little bit ahead on XP. They had a camp pushing top with the potential to do some serious damage. They just basically chose to not fully commit.
Yeah, Sylvanas actually taking a lot of damage bottom. Those Siege Giants doing a really good job of pushing it back up. Laser Muffin comes down to try to push her back more. They do need to put a lot of pressure on this Sylvanas. If you leave her alone, she will push very hard.
Especially against that Muradin.
Muradin,
it's not going to be able to deal with that long term.
Second tribute is now spawning in the top lane. Both teams are basically neck and neck in experience right now. Both doing a very, very good job soaking. Looks like we've already got some skirners. Sonya just going hardcore. This Sonya is aggressive.
Yeah, and I think they can afford to be based on Morales' healing, but wow, Rhaegar going hard on Morales, just trying to push them away and succeeding at doing so. Thrall coming in, absolutely destroying Ball and Morales. This is looking really bad for Unstable.
Yeah, the lightning shield is doing work. Somehow Morales is still alive, but
Wow.
blinding shield by Johanna just finishes off that last sliver. But Unstable was able to pick off Rhaegar and Thrall during that massive ring around the Rosie.
Yeah, that was actually, it looked really bad for Unstable, but Mystic Shroud was able to just basically kite away while his team destroyed the opposition. So
yeah. Mid-rotation going in, Johanna has to pop that Unstoppable and does manage to get behind the wall. Super low, though. Abathur is soaking bottom right now, but why do I keep calling her Johanna? Sylvanas is just going to push really hard, but we do have that rotation coming in. Morales and Muradin going to try and push this back. Oh no, Colonel Omen ran into those mines so low. Nice grenade by Medic, but she was able to just survive.
yeah, Church throwing out that Stormbolt a little bit early, but and then in the top, Hero of Lilac gets destroyed by a Jaina Blizzard from Sarm. Abathur looking a little bit uneasy behind the wall, just trying to push the wave back, and Laser Muffin coming in to help as well.
Yeah, and those towers have no ammo. So Tactical Tune is going to have to be careful.
That wall might as well not be there, basically, at this point.
What kind of talents we got going there, Josh? Anything unusual?
It's an auto attack build from Vala, so I'm very interested to see how that works out. Beyond that, it's looking very pretty standard in a nest build coming up from Abathur, and looks like we do have an engagement around the tribute here.
Yep, Sonya almost got that cap. ZKings has to stop this or it will be a curse. ZKings does hit 10 though ahead, so can they translate into the fight? Jaina is getting so low. Ancestral is used on her and she's going to go right back into the fight. But Johanna goes down. This is really unfortunate. Water Elemental does come out and takes Ball out, and now that extra time with level 10. ZKings just doing so much damage. The Abathur clone of Sonya does come out. Rhaegar's getting very low. He doesn't have a whole lot of mana. Bring comes back around to join his team. The boss is kind of engaged, but they're able to pull back. But man, ZKings getting those ultimates just a split second earlier. The Ancestral going off on Jaina, allowing them to turn and continue that fight. And they really get 3 kills out of that and the tribute.
And those extra few seconds, that was all it took, really, to turn that fight around. You know, Unstable actually did get their heroes during that fight, but it was too late. By the time they had them, the damage had been done. I do want to give shout-outs to Mystic Shroud, who is a very slippery Morales.
Good lord.
If not for Sylvanas, it would have gone away. Sylvanas went very deep to secure it. So,
for as many times as they've tried to gank her, she's only died once.
Yeah, no, she's doing a very good job.
So we do have a 2v1 down at the bottom. Johanna is getting engaged on by Muradin and Sonya, but she should be able to be just fine. She is Johanna, after all.
And at this point, Church channeling the tribute. ZKings has to interrupt.
Nice blinding shield.
Sonya.
And ZKings have rotated around. Lots of damage going out onto Rhaegar. He's going to have to pull back. Blizzard goes down. Morales taking so much damage. Going to have to go back. The silencing arrow goes out. But Thrall is the first one to fall. Look at that Morales work.
How is Mystic Shroud still alive?
I don't understand. This is insane. The team is doing such a good job of zoning for this Morales. And Morales is, oh no, Sonya does manage to go down finally. But look at Morales, still alive. Sylvanas comes around. Abathur does pop onto the medic, but it looks like the ZKings have finally pushed Unstable off. Maybe? Maybe?
Church jumps back in like this is the first fight of the day for him, but
yeah. Oh, there goes Morales. And Church is going to have to be really careful now. He has no mana. He's got the Abathur. Rhaegar, it looks like they might just let him go and grab the tribute.
Yeah.
They're okay. It's like, okay, we've killed 2 or 3 of you guys. We're content with just grabbing that.
Yeah, I think that there were some issues in that fight that ended up costing Unstable a lot, and ultimately the tribute. And actually, we see ZKings immediately go boss.
Yeah, and this is a really good call by them because that tribute was right next to their boss, and the Unstable was just they were dead. They're not anywhere near them. So as Unstable's grabbing their bruiser camp, ZKings grab boss.
And they're actually lining up to push with that boss. They also have Sylvanas that can really limit the amount of damage the boss takes as they push forward. So I'm interested to see what the response here from Unstable will be.
It looks like they are going to rotate down to fight this. They don't want to grab their boss right now. It's like, okay, we need to get this going. We need to protect this because this is a full health boss. When the Sylvanas pushes with the boss, it can be bad. But the tribute is spawning up top. ZKings headed top to try and stop that. Johanna already, or Sylvanas. Why am I mixing all these girl names up? Sonya already there. Wailing Arrow does go out, silencing both of the Sonyas. And there goes that clone. And I think this is going to be a curse for ZKings.
Yeah, and I mean, ultimately for Unstable, the choice was let that boss do its maximum amount of damage, or give up the curse, and they chose to do the latter, unfortunately.
Yeah. And in some ways, that's probably good because that tribute was not guaranteed for them, honestly. And if they had lost that fight, then they would have had a mostly full health boss pushing with a curse.
Yeah, it was definitely
so
a more
I think they made the right
move.
call.
Yeah. And I just actually want to note that Jaina is not going with a Q build, mostly going with the Blizzard Took in Venom, presumably for Morales. Yeah, so a very interesting build, and they took at 13 improved ice block. So definitely
probably a good call.
Yeah, definitely worried about the Sonya blow up potential.
Yes, for sure. Blackbeard, kind of a little far out there, but it is during the curse, so he doesn't have to worry. Sundering does go out, splits the team. Not a ton of hard engage. Stim Drone goes in on Sonya, and look at the damage she is doing.
That is a lot of damage from Sonya. Big strafe as well. Laser muffin.
The ice block went out, but it was the rest of the team was in retreat, so it just didn't do any good. Johanna taking so much damage right now. Looks like she will get away, but I'd say that's probably one of the best scenarios that Unstable could have asked for.
Yeah, and the Abathur clone by Tactical Tuna on Vala actually got a lot done also. Pretty happy with the results there. It's always, he chose Sonya earlier, but in this case decided to go for Vala, and I think it actually worked out really well in that case.
It kept him alive longer. He seemed to really get blown up quickly with the Sonya clone. And honestly, they lost the rest of their forts, but they were able to keep their keeps and most of the keep walls and towers intact. And now they're grabbing their boss.
Yep, and there's just almost 2 minutes on the other boss, so they don't have the option to go like a boss-to-boss situation. But it looks like they're going to rotate down, maybe get their siege camp.
Mm-hmm. And there is about a level and a half difference, so there's the Abathur slap. Started off just for fun. Good job, Tactical Tuna.
like a real tuna out of water, an ineffectual slap is all it can muster.
Yep. Man, your analogies are just so spot on tonight, Josh.
Thank you.
I just love it.
So
what they're really trying to do, Unstable just needs to get level 16 before this next engage. They're going to have to be really careful because they do have that talent deficit. They are actually kind of engaging right now, and this is bad. So much damage onto Muradin, silencing Arrow, and there it is right there. And Tactical Tuna's clone goes down, and this is exactly what I was talking about. They engaged a level down, and not only a level down, a talent level down, and this could give ZKings a very strong push.
Here's kind of an interesting situation. Cold Embrace on Sylvanas, so taking 25% more damage. Northern Exposure on Jaina. So they have two vulnerabilities. They might aim to just burst through the Morales heal.
Dang. Apparently. That is some all-in talents right there.
And they don't actually stack, so if they overlap, then it means that, you're just
it's a little bit of a waste. Yeah.
But we'll have to see how they use it, because I think, especially if they can make it against Morales, those vulnerabilities, it should help them a lot in the team fight.
And we are seeing actually a few grenade talents out from Morales as well.
Yeah, I think that's not surprising given the annoyance of Johanna and Thrall. Probably just trying to create space. Honestly, at some of those talent tiers, there's really boring talents, and the grenade talents can be quite effective. So
yeah, I mean, it's a very long-range grenade.
Oh yeah.
ZKings going in. Murden does pop his avatar. The Stimtrone does go down, and Johanna taking so much damage. Ancestral does go out, and the clone is deleted. Church taking so much damage. The Abathur shield was not able to save him. Water Elemental going on. The Silencing Arrow goes out, and Sonya goes down as well. Very, very unfortunate team fight for Unstable.
Yeah, I was really surprised at how quickly the double Sonya got melted. And it seems like that going for the backline isn't really working for Unstable. I think I'd like to see another Vala clone, honestly. They got some good results with that. And for the moment, ZKings just pushing their advantage. They're going to get this keep.
They're going to get the keep. And this, I think, could be just what you're talking about. There's that double vulnerability coming into play. I mean, so much damage was done.
I wonder if they're not just going to back up now, ZKings, and grab their own boss.
It would make a lot of sense. The keep is down. They're not going to be able to take another keep because most of Unstable's all back up now. So this is definitely the play to make.
And they're doing it, but Unstable is up, and if they get wind of this, they could definitely go contested. It doesn't look like they are, though.
No, it looks like they might be starting to come down, but no, they're splitting.
Yeah, a little bit of hesitation there. On the upside, they will be in good position for this tribute that's just spawned.
And this will be a cursed tribute for them, and they need this so bad right now, especially with this boss pushing against another one of their keeps.
I'm a bit confused by the positioning there. You knew which direction they were coming from.
Church hops in. He's actually really far away from his team right now, taking a ton of damage. Sonya and Vala do come in on the outset, but a lot of damage has been done already. The clone already going down. Silencing Arrow out hits 3 members. Stimdrone is down, but look at the damage coming out from all of this vulnerability. Morales is going to fall, and it looks like Sonya may be the only one that survives. But no, look! The vulnerability again. So much damage with the slow. Kept Sonya in the blizzard, and now they may just push.
Yeah, they can just end at this point, and that looks like it's going to be the call. That Sundering by the Black Bear basically sealed the deal.
Yeah.
It was already a bad team fight for Unstable, but they
not only that
got hit.
Yeah, and not only that, I think Murden went in too early. He took about half-life damage, and he had to pop his stone skin before the rest of the team even engaged.
Yeah, it was a rough positioning for the Muradin. I sort of questioned the call to Party Bush above the tribute because they knew which direction ZKings had to come from to get to the tribute, right? Like they had to come from the bottom or maybe from the left if they had immediately backed following boss.
Yeah.
So it was an interesting call that didn't quite work out, and I said I wanted to see a Vala clone. I did see a Vala clone, but for mere seconds before it was deleted by Thrall. So
I just want to let's shout out Sylvanas. I mean, look at that siege and hero damage,
and 0 deaths,
and
also.
no deaths. Not to mention top XP contribution. The Sylvanas was so on point. She was everywhere she needed to be, and she hit some absolutely clutch wailing arrows, and I think that really caused Unstable. That really caused a lot of the team fight switches for Unstable.
Let's also not forget that was their last pick. So that's a lot of value for a last pick. I think that overall, like all of the damage dealers on ZKings did a great job. not to diminish anybody's role, but I really love the aggressive blink forward from Jaina at the end there to secure the Sonya kill.
Yeah.
Maybe not the most necessary thing, but you definitely get style points, and it's always good to be able to just guarantee that you get
offensive blink.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah. No, and the thing is, when Unstable's strategy worked, it worked incredibly. We saw one team fight. We saw the glimmer of the strategy come out in that one team fight with the stim drone Sonya with the Abathur hat that just wrecked everyone. Yeah. But they were only able to really pull that off once.
Yeah, the plan of attack often seemed sort of disrupted by the fact that either Church was too far forward or the Abathur clone came out a little bit too late. I think in the case of that last team fight, you might be able to argue it came out a little late, and it basically got deleted on the front line.
Yeah, I feel Unstable had some communication issues with their engages because, as you mentioned, a lot of times Church was a bit too far ahead of his team, and so that allowed him to take a lot of unnecessary damage before his team joined in. And then by that point, he was so low that he either died or had to back out. And that doesn't give your other DPS much protection.
I think, though, like there were a lot of bright spots for Unstable. I think that while they probably didn't have to draft Morales and Murden so early, I think that with a little bit of refining, that sort of combination could work out. We saw some really great plays from Shroud. Just so slippery as Morales, and that, I mean, anybody who's played against a Morales knows how annoying that is. When Morales always just slips away.
I was super impressed by Shroud's Morales play. Like, he did so well, and part of that I attribute to the grenade talents. I mean, he got upgraded ballistics, displacement grades travel 50% faster, and enemies take 33% more damage, and then system shock, which slows enemies for 4 seconds when they're hit. So using that to his advantage, he was able, especially that first fight up near the enemy boss, he was able to kite the enemy team around and actually allow his teammates to get several kills and then still live.
Yeah, and I think when you're a Morales and you understand your limits that well, like you said, it does open up opportunities for your team because everybody wants to kill the Morales.
Oh, yeah.
While they're tunnel visioning the Morales, you just rip apart their team.
Yeah.
So well done by them. I also thought Tactical Tuna did a really good job on Abathur. Look at those stats. I mean, obviously stats aren't everything, but good siege damage, good player damage too.
Yeah.
For an Abathur.
And fantastic XP soak.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, 13k XP soak. The Abathur Tactical Tuna was doing what he was supposed to do.
Absolutely.
It definitely was doing what he was supposed to do. And I feel like if Unstable had been able to get their engages down a little better, it could have turned out differently.
Definitely.
Well, awesome, guys. Thank you so much for joining us for this Chair League game. This will be our last of the night. I am TBK. You can find me on Twitter at TBKZord, and of course my channel, which you're watching now. Give it a follow if you like what you saw. And thank you so much to Josh for co-casting with me. We always have an absolute blast doing this. Josh, where can folks find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Throne Gauntlet, or check out my Heroes of the Storm writing about the competitive scene at the Score Esports. We have a Heroes of the Storm section, and who knows, maybe one of these names that you guys see on Chair League you'll see on a competitive team someday.
Yeah, wouldn't that be awesome?
I would love for that to happen.
Yeah, definitely go check out the Score Esports. It's definitely my go-to source for all my HOTS competitive info. I'm super excited. We got tournament coming up soon. Big one.